Hello.
Hi there.
Happy almost New Year.
Post Christmas, we're in the strange times.
We are. It feels like the nothing times. Just nothing to do with work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to start anything new. Just
Movies.
movies.
Yes, this is the post Christmas, like nothing's really going on. It's the weird times, so we have plenty of times to watch new movies, and we have.
Oh, see, I feel like we have less time because it's the holidays and we're like going places and seeing people.
And the week after Christmas, but before New Year's, it's perfect that we can do a lot of just hanging around and watching. Everyone's too tired to do anything else.
That's
I
true.
know I am. All right. We watched how many movies this week? Five?
We watched 5 movies
Did
this
pretty
week.
good.
I think so. All new releases.
Mm-hmm.
And
We're getting to the point where new releases are outpacing how quickly we can watch these things. So we have a backlog, don't we?
yeah, they all pop up on streaming toward the end of the year. And then independent spirit screeners, we have those now, which we haven't started on. So
Oh boy. We'll pause our movie tonight for New Year's and then get right back to it.
I don't know. Together just came on Hulu.
Never mind, we got a job to do.
We got to see that one.
I'm
Ah,
nervous for Together. That's the Brie Larson, not Brie Larson, Allison
Allison
Brie.
Brie.
That's her sister,
No.
and Dave Franco,
yeah, yeah.
the good Franco.
The good Franco.
There
And
are no other Francos actually.
no, no, I've never heard of a single other Franco, just Dave. And
Please don't be rotted, Dave. Please.
Dave and Allison are married,
That's
and
right.
it's a horror movie about, I don't know, them becoming enmeshed, I think. I'm
It
excited to watch it,
it looks body horror-y.
which
It's
is
like
right up my
it
alley.
is. It's they get like stuck together, right? They like it's like super glue but worse.
That's what it looked like, yeah.
They're like actually meshing. They just love each other so much.
That's gonna happen to us one day. So let's get into the movies we watched.
Yes.
The first one was Strange Harvest, which was a
Oh
really
yeah.
interesting, like, found footage horror movie.
I did not know what to expect. I'm glad they went with the mockumentary style.
Me too. I thought it was really well done, and actually, the mockumentary style, it really amplified the horror for me. It takes a lot for me to get a little squeamish
Yeah.
while watching a horror movie, but I felt pretty squeamish a few times with this one.
What made you squeamish about this movie?
I think a lot of the violence just felt really visceral
Yeah. Okay.
because it was done in that found footage manner.
Yeah.
So I just think the effects looked a little more realistic.
Fair enough.
And then the storytelling, it feels real.
The horror aspect didn't hit me as hard because since most of it was like crime scene footage, it was not as I don't know that horror element. I wasn't on the edge of my seat waiting to see what happens next.
See, crime scene footage really makes me squirm.
Oh, okay. I did not know
So,
this.
because it's real.
Fair enough. Fair
Like a
enough.
horror movie, even the most disgusting movie, it's not real. It's effects. I know how they make the effects. And this, of course, was effects as well, but,
How do you feel about leeches after this movie?
I don't mind leeches. It's fine. Leeches are fine.
They're fine. I never want to have to pull one off of me that's like attached like a tick. That sucks bad enough.
I did think the commentary on actual true crime documentaries was pretty fun as well because you're seeing all of this gruesome gore of these murdered victims, and then the one time a dog was murdered, it's blacked out.
You know what? That is a movie that understands its audience. He was a good boy. Rip.
Rip.
No, I like this movie. I thought it was an interesting story. Was this based off of a book?
I
I don't think
think so.
someone just came up with this.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
boy.
this was just an original story, but watching it, it definitely had shades of. The biggest one for me was the Zodiac Killer,
Sure, I get
with the letters and the
Yeah.
markings and stuff like that. I think even the ending was a little open-ended, like they
It
might be
was.
sequel baiting.
It was. It seemed like weird and occulty. I liked that aspect of it. I thought the killer's mask was cool. It was
Yeah.
like it reminded me of a bowling ball, but it was freaky looking. Going in, I thought it was going to be a found footage, like almost like Blair Witch style. Like we are kind of going along with like a main character, but instead it was more like like I said, interview with police officers and crime scene photos and kind of like the investigation side of things, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, it was a really unique way to take it. I don't think I've seen a mockumentary movie in a minute, so
Same.
it was refreshing because, I enjoy a mockumentary TV show, and there's plenty of those, but not as many movies.
Still trying to figure out what the serial killer guy was trying to do. He was trying to like summon an eldritch demon or something like that.
Yeah, they mentioned he had gone into a
Oh,
cave,
that's right.
and then he came out of the cave all weird, and then at the end, the cop went into a cave, and that was the end of the movie, and like the
Yeah.
post-credit scene, which makes me think there is that supernatural element at play here. Because then it was like, okay, he's sacrificing these people. I think, like you said, so this god, demon, whatever thing can come back.
I guess so.
Because it
Yeah.
also had to do with like the moon cycle.
Yeah, planets were lining up and all that weird fun stuff. Yeah.
But if they do a sequel, the main cop guy
It's got to be it,
is
right?
definitely going to come out and continue the killings.
Yeah.
Maybe a little like Hereditary.
Okay, I could see that.
They had the little cult at the end of Hereditary.
Yeah.
They're trying to get the demon a body.
It'd be interesting to explore that further on, yeah. I wonder if we'll see anything more from that writer, director?
Yeah, I would be interested to see this concept fleshed out more. And like I said, they were really teasing it. So maybe.
I'll say, I guess one criticism I'll have, I don't like movies or when you have like a hunt for a serial killer element where it almost they're trying to go as over the top as possible with like the gore and like how they set up the crime scenes and how over the top it reminded me of like a Saw movie almost. I think that was the point.
Yeah.
It kind of took me out of like this is supposed to be an actual like they're pretending it's a documentary element of it, but I guess when we're dealing with eldritch horrors and demon summoning and stuff, it's okay to let it go.
That's fair because, yeah, like you said, the whole leech murder, that was wild.
I actually don't know how the leeches came into play at the end. Like this guy was obsessed with blood, but his summoning kind of thing didn't actually really have to do anything with like leeches were not involved in the final planets
Well,
are lining up. There's red, scary stuff in the sky.
I think he was taking a different body part from each victim. Like he took the one girl's hair, he
Oh
took like
yeah.
some organs. So that guy, I think he was taking his blood. So that's probably why the gruesomeness. I don't know if maybe he was trying to build a body for
Maybe.
the demon to go into, or if that was just part of the ritual.
Because he kidnaps that baby at the end. And he's trying to. I thought he was trying to, like, burn it on a fire or something,
That's what
but
it seemed like to me, which I mean,
not great.
I feel like they burn babies in rituals or like
I
burn the
suppose.
virgin or whatever.
Because at first I'm like, oh, he's trying to turn this baby into the vessel that demon thing is going to come in, but nope, sacrifice.
I do think it's funny that all of these gruesome killings culminated in this serial killer who's apparently the most unknown serial killer in California
Yeah.
history or Southern California's history because everyone would have been on that.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone would have heard about the guy with the leeches and the weird mask and the drawings. Everyone. There'd be so many true crime podcasts about it.
I will say at the end when the police are searching for the guy through the woods and they're encountering like campers out there, don't go camping when you know there's a serial killer having a good old time at night.
Especially when you know that the planets are doing some freaky stuff that night.
You're more up to date with the planets than no, it's very dangerous to go outside. Fair.
I would never be outside like that, period.
You don't like camping.
No, I don't like camping.
And this is why.
Yeah, like I'm not trying to get murdered.
Fair. Just don't do things outside in California and you got a better shot of surviving.
Don't do things outside here, let me tell you.
Yeah. Fair enough. But no, I liked this movie. I liked the style. It was just realistic enough to keep me kind of gripped the whole time. I thought the characters were interesting. And yeah, I'd be curious to see if they want to continue this story. I could definitely understand it if this is just a one and done, just strange kind of occulty serial killer story. But who knows? Maybe we'll get a whole series out of this. Let's go.
Yeah.
What was this movie even called again? I don't remember.
Strange Harvest.
Strange Harvest. Yes, that's right. He was harvesting his victims.
Yeah, and he was harvesting their organs and body parts and stuff.
That's right.
But on Rotten Tomatoes, Strange Harvest has a certified fresh 92%.
92. Let's go.
That feels very high.
It feels high. I think it's earned.
I guess. I mean, this was
What would you give
very
this?
unique. Like an 80. Still
Oh,
good,
you didn't like
but
this.
no, I liked it quite a bit. I think an 80 is a good score,
You
but
hated
like
it.
a 90s movie is like, you know, maybe like a Yorgos Lanthimos movie or something. I don't know. But yeah, that does feel high because Rotten Tomatoes, the way their scoring system works is you either get a good score or a bad score, a fresh or a rotten. So even
Right.
if a reviewer thinks something is pretty good or like just okay, that's going to be considered a fresh score. So something like this, I'd say a lot of people are like, oh yeah, that's pretty good, but wouldn't say, yes, 90%. Like,
Best movie of all time.
exactly.
I
So
get that.
I do think that's where you got to look at Rotten Tomatoes with a little nuance, which is what we're doing here.
Yes. You gotta read between the lines a little bit. Fair enough.
But I would give this like an 80.
92. I'm sticking with it. Well deserved.
Our next movie, Bugonia,
Bugonia.
the new Yorgos Lanthimos movie.
You've been excited for this one for a while.
So excited. I love his movies. I love The Favorite. I loved Poor Things. I loved The Lobster. Even when I was in high school, I loved Dogtooth.
Yeah.
So I'm always excited for a Yorgos movie. And I really wasn't disappointed. It's not my favorite of his movies, but I still thought it was really, really great.
What did you like about it? What were your favorite elements of this movie?
I love how his movies are stylized. I thought the script was really punchy,
Okay.
and the acting was incredible.
Jesse Plemons definitely does play a paranoid, like, conspiracy theorist, I guess you would call him.
He disappeared into that role. I didn't even register while I was watching. Oh, I'm looking at Jesse Plemons. You know?
Really.
He should get an Oscar nomination, but I'm not sure if he will this year.
Yeah, him in this movie compared to, like, his portrayal in Power of the Dog, very different. He can really pull off that, like, grungy look.
Yeah, he's such a diverse actor. Even in Civil War, in his little
Oh, that's right.
role, he was really scary.
He can be scary when he wants to, yeah, when he wants to turn it on.
And he was scary here, but in kind of a pathetic way.
Yeah, he was like a damaged little boy just kind of grasping for answers, but he chose to use violence as his way to try to get answers.
Yeah, it was like, this guy is scary because he has nothing to lose.
Yeah. I liked the critique of, like, I guess big pharma or like maybe chemical companies and how they poison both their workers and consumers and innocent people. So that was an interesting take. This is a movie with a message, I think.
Yeah,
Some messages.
I kind of, spoilers, viewed the aliens at the end as, all the billionaires and politicians
Sure.
who essentially determine what's going to happen to everyone else with their decisions regarding the environment and how much things cost, the health care you can get.
And that's interesting, yeah. And then when they're done, they kind of metaphorically take off to their own little world
And
and
they
leave
pop the bubble and everyone else is,
leave
who
everyone
cares?
else to die. Yeah, interesting. I didn't think about that. And I guess it's shown at the end when Emma Stone goes into the little secret room in the basement area and finds all the body parts.
Yeah.
Jesse Plemons was a serial killer.
Well, it seemed to me like he's done this before. He's found people who, and they had a little conversation about it. He's kidnapped people who he's thought were aliens. And I believe he said he only found like 4, but there were definitely more than 4. So he doesn't always get it right,
Yeah.
But right up until the end, I was thinking, oh, no, it didn't even pop into my head that the aliens were real.
I was going back and forth on what I thought was going to happen because I was like, well, this is a Yorgos movie, so he might just go all out, make it weird, and like, yeah,
Yeah.
actually there are aliens here. But it was funny to see how that unfolded when Jesse Plemons went into the closet and popped like a balloon. That was fun.
That was fun. And Emma Stone also did a great job.
Do you think her cutting her hair is going to push her into that Oscar nomination territory?
Yes, I
Yes.
think she has a higher chance of getting nominated than Jesse Plemons. Now, she is also a 2-time Oscar winner. He's been nominated once.
Okay.
I think they both deserve it,
I'd say so.
but I think these are really tight races this year, and it's hard for me to fully get into it because I haven't seen some of the heavy hitters. Like, I need to see Hamnet, I need to see Marty Supreme. But if it were up to me, I would say they absolutely both deserve it.
This was definitely a very physical role for Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. I know it was in the trailers, but him like jumping and crawling across the table to like tackle her was fun.
Yeah.
Like you said, this guy gave us all in this movie. Great acting. The story is funny and weird, and it's a conspiracy theorist doing whatever he can to convince himself that he's right.
It's based on a Japanese movie, I believe,
Okay.
called Save the Green Planet.
Okay.
I don't know much about it. I'd be interested to see how similar they are. I think the only thing I know is that the Emma Stone character in that is a man.
Gotcha. Why was it called Bugonia?
You know what? I don't know. I'm going to Google it.
Because I think they were comparing kind of worker bees and a bee colony. I mean, Jesse Plemons' character is a beekeeper. I think Emma Stone's character mentioned that they were interested in that as well. Maybe it was you have these figures are like the queens who run the colony, and then the workers are the ones who suffer, maybe something like that.
From Wikipedia.
Oh, hit me.
Bugonia was a folk practice in the ancient Mediterranean region based on the belief that bees were spontaneously generated from a cow's carcass. By extension, it was thought that fumigation with cow dung was beneficial to the health of the hive.
Well, that all sounds smelly.
So, yeah, Bugonia, it ties back into the bees that we kept seeing. I even think, wasn't the last shot bees kind of coming back? And
Yeah, it brought us full circle because I think the intro to the movie is
Was
a bee
bees,
and a
yeah. Like
flowers.
pollinating.
Yeah, doing some pollination in a meadow. Very nice. This is a pretty movie. I liked it. I liked the sets. Everything felt real and lived in. I liked it all.
Yeah, I figured you would like the environmental message here. Save the bees.
Now, again, spoilers. When we get towards the end and Jesse Plemons has popped himself, I guess, accidentally or maybe on purpose.
I
And
think it was an accident because, like the cop lady said, oh, this happens all the time with homemade bombs. It was the friction on his clothes.
oh yeah, he had his bomb vest on. That
Yeah.
wasn't a great idea, actually.
Because I don't think he would have killed himself right before he gets to go to the aliens.
True.
Nah, I just think his homemade bombs were faulty.
And then when Emma Stone is, I guess, transported back to her home planet or whatever that
Like
was,
spaceship.
maybe. I will say the everything on that, like the costuming and the sets and everything, it looked kind of cheesy to me. But I think maybe that was the point.
It was giving a little bit. Oh, what is that movie that the Scientology guy made with John Travolta?
Oh, are you talking about Battlefield Earth?
Yes.
It did feel like Battlefield Earth.
I
Yeah.
thought the styling felt like Battlefield Earth, and honestly, it wouldn't shock me if there was some intentionality there.
Yeah. Yorgos probably loves that movie for all we know.
I'm sure he sees the irony in it.
Agreed. But yeah, definitely worth a watch. I would probably even watch this again down the line to see, kind of pick up different things now that we kind of know how the story unfolds. See if Emma Stone's character has any more giveaways or the setting has any more giveaways for her true nature.
Yeah, this is one of those movies where I feel like every rewatch you could pick up something new.
Would you say that's Yorgos' style of like making movies and directing?
I would say so.
Has
I
little
feel like,
nuggets throughout.
yeah, I feel like a lot of his movies, or at least the ones I've seen, they're quite complex.
I like it. All right. What was our score? I'm going to say this movie got a 88%.
You are very close. 87%.
87. I was going to go with that. Dang.
See, I would put this like higher than Strange Harvest, you know? I would give this a 95%. I loved this movie. 5 stars.
Love it. Okay. But not your favorite Yorgos movie.
No,
Why is that?
just his movies are really strong, and so I think I'm more gripped by the plot of like The Favorite, you know? And then I feel like I relate more to Poor Things.
Okay.
So those are my 2 favorite Yorgos movies. Even Dogtooth, that was my first one of his that I watched in high school, so that has a special messed up place in my heart.
Love it.
The only one I haven't seen Killing of the Sacred Deer. I should watch that movie.
Yeah, we can watch that soon. Get the whole Lanthimos ensemble. Yeah, I like this movie. Give it a watch. It's weird. It's fun. Jesse Plemons is crazy.
Absolutely. Then, of course, there was my favorite movie experience ever at the movie theater, which was The Lobster.
That's right. What happened at that movie experience?
So, in the movie, they ask Colin Farrell if he wants to fall in love with men or women, and he essentially says that he's bisexual. And they're like, no, that's not real.
5 people do not exist.
You-
Confirmed.
You have to pick man or woman. And he says, okay, women. And everyone in my audience booed. And it was beautiful.
Love it.
So yeah, I'll be excited for the next Yorgos movie and all the subsequent ones.
We'll give this a watch again sometime. This is definitely a worth the hype movie. Give it a check. Check it out. Thumbs up.
Yeah, this is going to be the one that I'm going to get frustrated doesn't get as many Oscar nominations as I think it should.
You wanted Best Picture, Best Director. You wanted to sweep, huh?
I want the sweep. Yeah, I want the Anora sweep for Bugonia.
I don't know. Still early in the season. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, and we'll see how we feel when we watch some of the other heavy hitters. Sentimental Value, that's another one we have to watch.
That's true. Okay. Mm-hmm. What is Sentimental Values about? I don't remember.
Sentimental Value is the Stellan Skarsgård movie. I think it's about, he's like an actor or something.
He is an actor.
He's an actor or a director in the movie,
both.
I think. And he is making a movie about like his life and his relationship with his daughters.
Okay.
And I don't think it's a good relationship.
Oh.
Because I think he's famous and there's probably some, poor parenting that went on there.
He's imagining what life would be like with a bunch of daughters instead of so many sons.
Yeah, exactly. Except here, I think it's just 2 daughters. Hard to relate. Stellan, I know. Hard to relate.
All right. What do we got next?
Okay, the next movie we watched was The Threesome.
The Threesome.
Which I do think the title might repel the type of person who would actually really enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
Because this was like a sweet movie. It was a romance movie. It felt like a Hallmark movie to me, honestly.
It did. I wanted this movie to be funnier. I wanted this movie to be hornier.
Yeah.
It tried to do both, and I think ended up not quite hitting the mark.
Should have been a raunchy sex comedy.
Yeah, no, it's more about the difficulties of relationships and not really knowing what you want. Indecisiveness, I think, is a big kind of theme throughout the movie.
Yeah. When I realized it was mainly a pregnancy movie,
It is, yeah.
that's just not really my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean it's bad, because everyone has things they're going to be more or less interested in, but it just wasn't my favorite. I don't think it was bad. This was a very medium movie for me.
I agree. I think I dislike the main character guy the most.
He was awful. Well, we started the movie and you said to make it more fun, you were going to figure out how you could justify every single one of his actions. And I think 5 minutes in, you said you couldn't do it.
I did not last very long. This guy was such an idiot. He doesn't know what he wants, ends up leading multiple girls on, ends up in just a completely messed up kind of family situation.
Doesn't know how to use birth control.
No. Yeah, kind of an idiot in that regard.
And he doesn't know how to stand up for himself either.
Really.
Like, you're about to be a father of 2.
Potentially.
So, like, just tell those parents you're not her boyfriend, Either that or stop leading the girl on.
It's almost 2026. There's no problem in saying, yeah, I got knocked up in a threesome. It was awesome.
Technically, she didn't get knocked up in the threesome.
And yeah, the movie doesn't even live up to its title.
It doesn't.
And spoiler alert, I don't know why we needed the guy's main love interest, the gal with the bangs, to end up... No, twist. She was actually knocked up by another fuck buddy at the end. And I don't know why we needed that to make things more complicated.
Yeah, I don't really know either. Maybe that was to indicate that... Because at the end, he did end up with her.
Yeah.
So maybe they were just trying to show that, oh, he really loves her. It's not just about, okay, who had the baby with my genetics.
That's fine.
It's like, I just love this person, even if they have a baby that's not mine.
I do agree that we need to move past the viewpoint of, like, if this child isn't genetically related to me, I shouldn't care about it just because of who I'm with as a partner. We need to ditch all that old stuff, old way of thinking.
Yeah, that is always really stupid. I really liked also when we watched One Battle After Another. That was a good movie about that, about how you don't need to be genetically bound to someone for them to be your family
I
and
agree.
for you to have those feelings.
Most of the time, I wasn't worried too much about that. I was more like, how are these people supposed to afford two brand new children? I don't think any of them worked. It didn't seem like.
Well,
Not really.
Bangs
What did she do?
worked at a restaurant, and then the guy
Oh, yeah.
was like,
Sound engineer.
yeah, a sound engineer. And then the other girl, the religious one, worked at a soup kitchen and was
Oh,
in
that's
grad
right.
school. But
Perfect situation for two new babies.
I also think she lived with her parents.
Yeah, she had support there.
And she was looking for a place of her own at the very end of the movie.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, they got her an apartment or something like that.
Yeah,
Now,
so maybe she got a better job after grad school.
I think my favorite person in this movie was the girl from Bottoms. That actor killed it. She was
Yeah.
great. She was way too nice for
Oh, yeah.
anyone else in this movie.
I would have demolished that fool.
Yeah, he treated her very poorly.
Yeah, absolutely. Starting off strong with getting her number and fully ghosting her.
100% yes, immediately.
If I were her, I wouldn't have even shown up at his doorstep.
She really just kind of got looped into the toxic relationship between main guy and Bangs.
Yeah, she didn't deserve any of this.
And he paid the price for it, yeah.
I'm not even giving them the dignity of looking up their names.
Nah, not worth it.
Main guy and Bangs.
We got Bottoms girl, main guy, and Bangs. Bangs didn't know what she wanted either. They kept on just. I hate when movies do a back and forth on a will they, won't they, but it's throughout the entire movie more or less.
But then there was a weird will she, won't she with abortion.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
for a second, I was like, is this movie anti-abortion? I don't think it is. I think this movie is pro-choice, which is good. But I don't think they did a very good job fleshing out why she was making the choice for an abortion in the first place, and then why she subsequently decided, no, I'm going to keep the baby. Because it all kind of boiled down to, well, I don't want this baby or to be with you because it's going to look really embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just the optics of it.
I did notice this was written and directed by men, so
That might be problematic. It might not be.
the female character, what do you know, wasn't fleshed out very much.
Hey, everyone had their flaws in this movie.
Like, I thought the acting was good, but I really did think the only one who they kind of focused on the pathos of was main guy. And he was pretty boring, generic, handsome man.
Yeah, he sucks. He kept leading these two gals on. He doesn't know what he wants. Now he's got two kids, more or less in the mix, having to take care of them. I don't foresee happy things for him, just due to his
No.
own stupidity. But hey,
He's a pushover.
this is why sex education is very important.
Yeah, if I met this man, we would not be friends.
No, agreed. And don't have sex in the shower. Nothing good comes
No.
from it. It looks uncomfortable.
What
too.
if you slip and break your penis?
I would have rather watched that, actually. I didn't hate this movie. Thought it was going to be more of a comedy.
Yeah,
It
wasn't funny.
No, it wasn't really funny at all, actually. The acting was good. I'm not
The
gonna put that-
actors were good,
Yeah,
yes.
no one did a bad job on this. I don't know. I would give this movie maybe like a 65%. I wouldn't even give this a certified fresh. I don't know if I'd even want to worth a rewatch. Maybe
No.
one day, see if I like it anymore a few years down the line, but that'd be about it.
I would also say 65% would
Fair
be
enough.
fair. Because, yeah, it's not rotten, but I don't think it's worth a certified fresh either.
You're right. It's like I was watching a movie on the Hallmark Channel.
Yeah, movie on the Hallmark Channel where they could curse and have a threesome.
And the movie wasn't even that much. If you're gonna have a movie called The Threesome, there's not even like that much sexual content or nudity or anything
They
like
didn't even
that.
show the threesome.
They didn't. No, disappointing.
False
False
advertising.
advertising. I'm just disappointed.
It's like I said, I think the kind of person who would really enjoy this movie isn't the kind of person who's going to put on a movie called The Threesome.
Fair. Yeah, I agree. All right, tell me how wrong I got it with my guesstimate. What is Rotten Tomatoes telling us?
So this has a certified fresh 77%.
That still strikes me as a little high, but okay, I'll take it.
Yeah, like 70s, I guess I can see
Sure.
it, but I agree with you. 65 feels more apt.
It's not a bad movie. It just ended up
No.
being a little bit more boring than I thought it would.
Yeah, it felt too long and it wasn't even 2 hours.
Yeah, check it out if you just want like a I don't know a romance sort of
Yeah,
comedy.
kind of like an easy
Yeah,
romance.
easygoing movie.
A Hallmark movie that's rated R, but
Yeah.
still not that spicy.
Yeah, honestly, give it a shot.
Yeah, not my fave.
But yeah, I think if you're gonna have a movie called The Threesome, you either need to go over the top with like the comedy, sexual innuendo.
Yeah, be like a
and
raunchy
content.
sex
Yeah,
comedy.
make it raunchy, make it fun. You can still have the hard-hitting emotional moments that this movie did have. Again, I think the actors are all capable of pulling off like a
Mm-hmm. Oh,
really
yeah.
good story. I want to see more out of the gal from Bottoms. I think she's a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what the sequel holds for us. The Foursome. Let's go.
I don't think there'll be a sequel.
Probably not.
And I think everything's sequel baiting.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, we live in a sequel world. Not everything can be Marvel. We are learning that.
Not even Marvel all the time.
Not even Marvel, no.
All right, so our next movie was The Summer Book,
The Summer Book.
starring
This,
Glenn Close.
this was a movie taking place in Finland, I believe.
Yes.
How did you feel about this one?
I was so bored. I had to take a nap after.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a plot line except, like, this is the last summer that Grandma Glenn Close is alive. And it's not even like that felt very impactful for me when it happened, because of course that's what was going to happen.
Yes.
There was never a doubt in my mind that this was going to be anything else but Grandma Dies the movie.
Because you're right. You mentioned Glenn Close is normally portrayed one of two ways. Either she's the person there to be old, or just, who Glenn Close is, badass boss bitch. Let's go.
Yes.
Watch All's Fair. It is the top show of the century.
But yeah, Glenn Close in this, her entire character felt like she's just old.
This was based off a book, right?
It was.
This
yes.
struck me as like the movie version of like, here's the last summer I spent with like my grandma,
Yeah.
with like memories for going to like the summer cabin from the author, which is fine.
I never like it when a character's sole intention is to just be old. Because we know that Glenn Close can do much more than that. Like, she was phenomenal in the movie The Wife from a few years ago. And wasn't this kind of character at all. And I understand, there's a place for older characters, but I don't think anyone should be defined by their age,
Yeah.
Like, give me someone in their 80s who has other qualities about them other than, they're having some health problems and they're old. And also, whatever makeup they were doing with her, it didn't look real.
No, Glenn Close looked like she had an orange makeup smeared all over her face and then like a really bad facelift. It was jarring sometimes.
'Cause, like, Glenn Close is hot.
Yeah.
Why are we doing that? It's like we're exaggerating or sensationalizing someone's age when that's not even realistic.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. She was the main character is this little girl, and Glenn Close is the grandma, and then I guess she was the mother of the dad, the father character. I
Yeah,
think
and then they
maybe.
seemed to be going to this cabin for the summer because the girl's mom died.
Yeah, it seems like they've been going there for a long time, but the family's kind of like a little broken now that the mom's passed away, and they're all trying to like deal with that in their own ways, which is an interesting, is an interesting take. And you have a story there, but it was really just not much was shown to be happening. The father character, he was barely there, it seemed
He
like.
had nothing to do.
Right.
I knew nothing about him except he doesn't like being around his child.
No one had really anything to do in this movie.
I liked the cat.
Moppy.
That was a really cute cat.
It
They
was.
didn't cherish and love that cat
Not
as
nearly
much as
enough.
they should have. I also, and I know this is contrary to your opinion on the movie, enough with the landscape shots.
No.
We don't need to sit there on these landscape shots for like 5 minutes. I got so bored.
It was beautiful. How dare you?
This man was trying to make a Chloe Zhao movie, except the cinematography and the camera work, maybe due to budgetary constraints, wasn't at that level.
This is a very low budget movie, I got the impression. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that.
And then I was just sitting there saying, I wish I were watching a Chloe Zhao movie.
See, I was sitting there wishing I was watching a nature documentary about this place, and it could have just been sequences of just the sequences of the environment and all of the beauty and wildlife, and there's the ocean or lake, whatever they were on, the local people kind of living their lives here. Because the story doesn't add that much to it anyways.
No, you know me, I'm not a nature documentary
Oh, I
girly,
love it.
but I think I would have rather been watching Planet Earth than this because you're right. The story was pretty lacking. I understand that the purpose of this movie was more so slice of life, like here's my last summer
Definitely.
with grandma. I know it's based on a book too, so it's not like you're just going to go add an entire plot line, but it just wasn't for me. I was bored. I had to go to sleep after.
Yeah, no, going in, this is based off a book. This is kind of a slice of life movie. Yeah, you put that well. Where I guess sort of the environment and the scenery sort of is its own character in a way, and it really just kind of takes place over a summer in Finland for this family kind of getting away to their cabin. That's kind of it.
Did they even establish what year it was at the
No.
beginning? Because I had to look it up while I was watching the movie because I felt like Glenn Close was dressed like a pilgrim and I thought the dad was dressed like a hipster.
Yeah, it was not quite clear. I was getting it was not modern times, just
Yeah,
kind of
they
due to
didn't have like
technology and
phones
stuff.
or anything.
Yeah,
But
or
then,
that just could be out in the sticks in Finland. Who
yeah.
knows?
But then the dad had a watch and I was like, that looks like a modern watch.
Maybe.
But then, yeah, Glenn Close was dressed like Little House on the Prairie.
Then the little girl, she was fine. I guess we could have focused on her more.
Yeah, she didn't have much to do.
I mean,
And she was the main character.
the movie's called The Summer Book, and we show that she is kind of trying to copy her father because her father's like an illustrator for like magazines or books or something.
Yeah.
So she's trying to, in her idle time, throughout the whole summer, do drawings and kind of recreate events and scenes through their little vacation or time at the cabin. And she puts together and titles it My Summer Book. Focus on that. That would
Yeah.
have been really sweet. Maybe she's making that with her father or showing how that impacts their relationship. She
Well,
can show here's what I made, something like that.
Well, her father doesn't spend time with her canonically,
all.
so. And then he like almost dies in a storm, and she says, I prayed to God for it to storm. Another reason why children shouldn't be indoctrinated with religion. She's
Yeah.
like, my dad's gonna die, and it's all
All
my
my fault.
fault
Yep.
because I was bored and I asked God for a storm. Sometimes I'm sitting here on the couch and I'm like, man, some rain would be pretty nice. It's just relaxing.
I was bored. I cast a spell and it went really badly,
You know what? That's what happened. She
essentially.
cast a spell.
And I started to get tired of Glenn Close just kind of like coughing and just wandering all over the place with her little cane. Even though she does a great job,
Yeah.
she kind of becomes
She's
this
a
old
great
grandma
actress.
character. Yeah,
Always.
always. There was that random scene in the end where she had just gone out swimming, decides to start walking naked through the woods. I don't know why we needed that.
I guess the character has always been very one with nature.
Yeah,
They
that's
talked
fair.
about how she kind of got the Girl Scouts up and
Oh,
running.
that's right. She made her little like driftwood like figurines as her,
Yeah.
like one of her
And
pastimes.
she, wanted to be out in the tents and everything. So maybe that was just her knowing she was going to die, and so she wanted to really be one with nature one last time.
I kept
But
getting the impression whenever she was like laying down and relaxing in the woods or like on the shore enjoying the day, you kept on getting these close-ups of like waves coming in. She was really obsessed with moss for some reason, which that's cool.
that kid was throwing moss at people.
Moss was fun. But I kept on getting like, oh, she's trying to relax and really take in all the nature before she like she's not sure if she's going to wake up from the current nap she's taking, and she does that a few times
Yeah.
throughout. And that's fine, but that doesn't make for the most entertaining movie.
No, the whole time I was just like, all right, when's she gonna die? Clock's a
Exactly.
ticking. Because you know she's gonna
Like
die.
halfway through, you're like, okay, when's this?
I knew she was
When we
gonna
get to
die
this?
5 minutes into the movie. I
How
knew
dare
before
you?
we even pressed play.
Glenn Close is immortal, and you know it.
Well, Glenn Close is immortal, but this
His
character
grandma sure isn't.
sure is not. No, especially not after the makeup job they gave her.
If she hadn't been smoking, which would have been fine. She loves smoking, like running away and smoking on at their cabin, I think.
The dad was smoking and then dropping his still lit cigarette butt on the wooden cabin.
My headcanon now, he was hoping the whole thing would go up in flames.
I think so. He seemed to really hate his family.
I guess he was maybe just going through like
Grief.
yeah, he was grieving and depressed. There's that scene where he's on the boat fighting his way back to shore during that storm, and he hops out and starts, I guess, like swimming and pulling the boat, or maybe he was just walking in deep water. But he's like, "Is that all you got for me?"
Well, if anything, now that Glenn Close is dead, he's gonna be even worse, and now he's the only one to take care of that kid because the second Glenn Close dies, the movie is over.
Oh yeah,
There's
yeah.
no aftermath.
The dad's like, "All right," to the cat. "All right, Moppy, you watch the daughter now."
Yeah. They did not respect Moppy enough.
No, this struck me definitely like, okay, I could understand these were real events that took place in the creator's like childhood, and they were kind of reminiscing and I guess imparting some of the lessons that they learned kind of growing up or about life and relationships. But you could do it better ways. It's a very pretty movie.
It felt like a Chloe Zhao ripoff. And
I
to
have to
be
watch
fair,
Chloe Zhao movies now. I guess I liked it.
to be fair, I have never seen another movie, I believe, directed by Mr. Emily in Paris. So maybe that's his style too. I'm not sure. But all I could think while I was watching this was I would rather be watching a Chloe Zhao movie. And her movies aren't even like my favorite movies,
Okay.
but I just think they're good and more well done because even though they're slow, I still feel like there's a lot of character that you get. And then when you have that emotional connection to the character, I think it makes the slow pace feel richer.
Sure, I get that. This was like a puddle, a very pretty puddle, but it's not that deep. Not
No.
that deep. This would be a fine movie if you like very neat like scenery and environment and just wilderness, I suppose, wildlife. Have this on while you're working, or you need something playing in the background. That's fine because you don't need to pay attention to the story at all. Again, I would have rather this almost just been a nature documentary, or really just no commentary, just scenes of wilderness in rural or remote Finland, which seems like a very pretty country. We should go sometime.
Yeah, yeah, the country did look pretty.
But that is about it. I would say I'd give this like a 75. I think the story and the characters is honestly what holds this movie back. You had the potential for some deep, impactful, emotional moments, but it didn't get us there.
I would give this a 40.
A 40. Wow. Okay.
I was bored.
You're bored.
I think the worst thing a movie can be isn't bad, it's boring.
Yeah.
This movie wasn't bad, but I was bored.
If you're going to make it like this, it needs to be like a short film.
Yeah, this would have been a good short film.
I would have had no problem with that.
Like 20 to 30 minutes.
Even if it
Yeah.
had been like they do like a narration, maybe the little girl is now a grown up talking over and like reliving these memories, something like that. That would have been fine.
Yeah.
Was this the director's like first movie?
No, he's done other movies.
I'd say a bit of a swing and a miss. Props to the cinematography and the camera guys though, and I guess they did what they could with a
I think they did what they could with the
low
budget.
budget. Yeah. Yes, I'd give it a 75. It's fresh, but not quite for me. You like nature? Give it a shot. If you want something that's gonna kind of grip you a little bit more, maybe give this one a pass. Honestly.
And the Rotten Tomatoes score is much higher than the 40% I gave it. Certified fresh, 83%.
83. Okay, thumbs up.
Much too high.
We're gonna have to watch it again.
No,
We gotta know if we like it as much on the second.
I
go
will
through.
fall asleep.
That's fine.
I really
Honestly,
don't
this
care.
movie could put you to sleep.
The most engaged I
not a bad
was
thing.
was when I thought it was going to turn into Midsommar.
They do have their solstice little dress up with flowers and fireworks, and I thought that was maybe leading us to something more
Sacrifice
eventful.
grandma
Can you imagine?
in the Midsommar festivities.
Hey, we'll have to see it in the sequel. All right, Life of Chuck. Let's go.
Life of Chuck. Now, this was pretty highly anticipated for me because I am a Mike Flanagan girly.
Absolutely, as am I.
And this also won the top award at the Toronto Film Festival last year, which I thought it was interesting because Neon picked this one up and then they pushed it to this year, but they gave it an early release date, which made me immediately say, oh, this isn't going to be an awards player.
Okay.
Because they weren't about to release it last year alongside their prized Anora.
Fair.
Which seemed to have worked for them, honestly. That movie swept.
Yeah, I will say I liked Nora more than I liked Life of Chuck.
I also liked Anora more than I liked Life of Chuck. Life of Chuck,
I could definitely see the Stephen King. I mean, it's based off a Stephen King book, right?
yes.
Or short story, maybe.
Yeah. Which Mike Flanagan loves his Stephen King. I think he understands Stephen King and
Yeah.
adapts Stephen King very well. I really, really liked Dr. Sleep. But this one I knew wasn't going to be horror. And I really, really don't want to tell Mike Flanagan to stay in his lane. I think he can branch out if he wants to.
Sure.
He deserves that because he's given us so much great horror. But I'm going to use this comparison again. It felt a little too Hallmarky.
Yeah.
It was a very precious movie, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it's not really my particular taste. And I feel like these themes of life and death and relationships, I do think they are explored better in his miniseries like Midnight Mass or Haunting of Hill House. And those just feel less precious and more engaging to me because they're under that horror umbrella. You still have those stylized things in there that I think always really aid the heartfelt moments, and Mike Flanagan loves a good monologue. And some people have a problem with that. I really like the monologues.
We didn't even have that many monologues.
We had quite a few monologues.
Did we?
Yeah, we had Mark Hamill monologuing about why math is just the best, which I think that's borderline homophobic.
Why is that homophobic?
Because math is homophobic.
Okay. Bold take. Bold take. No. I knew starting out when the movie begins with Act 3, I'm like, okay, what are you trying to do here?
You hate a non-linear movie.
When it's unnecessary and then just does nothing but kind of confuse the viewer, I do not. I guess on reflection, it does kind of make sense. Skip into the spoilers. You have the themes that I think both Mike Flanagan and Stephen King toy with, of like seeing premonitions of people's deaths in the future, and how that affects a character's reality and perception of things. I think this is, I guess, sort of a philosophical movie in some regards. It's a lot about imagination and, I guess, self-worth and determination, but kind of how that is put to screen. I was saying this earlier. I wish the supernatural element, which is really towards the end, it's the upstairs attic room in the Victorian house. First, Mark Hamill seeing premonitions of people dying in that movie, whether it's himself or neighbors, his wife, whoever. And then our main character, Chuck, sees that right at the very end. He sees his own death when he's like an adolescent, something like that.
Yeah.
I really wish we had focused a lot more around that. Could have had more horror elements. Mark Hamill had the really only horror kind of scene in the movie.
Yeah, that scene where he is in the doorway and everything's kind of dark around him and he just has that look on his face. That was really good.
Yeah, focus on that more.
Yeah.
And show what I like about Mike Flanagan shows, especially Hill House. Hill House is my favorite. Is you have these kind of what ifs that really lend to the horror elements of the story, but as you learn what is actually happening, it's more, I guess I'll go back to saying philosophical or reflective. It's what you're seeing isn't so much like scary as it is, I don't know, part of the human experience, life, death, aging, relationships, things like that.
Yeah.
It's more reflective, and I always like that.
Me too.
It's a well done movie. It's pretty. I think the dancing scene with Tom Hiddleston and that redhead gal was great.
I think this movie suffered from it syndrome because I mostly cared about the little dancing Billy Elliot kid.
He was great, yeah.
I loved that kid going to dance class. Maybe it's because I was that kid going to dance class, but
He had a heart of gold.
he did. It was fun. Act 3, which was really the first part of the movie, I thought was pretty slow, and I was kind of like, what's the point of this? Where are we going with this?
Yeah.
Lots of really good actors in that part who we never saw again.
Yeah.
They had like 2 lines.
Because our first kind of main character is Chiwetel.
Yeah.
Right? And
I thought he was maybe going to be the protagonist because I'd heard that Tom Hiddleston wasn't in the movie much.
He's not in the movie all that much. You're right. I wish we would have, like, the main focus of the movie had been the child version of Chuck. And then maybe towards the ending, showing him as growing up and coming to terms with a lot of things he's seen and experienced.
Yeah, I guess I've never read the Stephen King story, so maybe that is the framing of that story. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. But it wasn't bad, and there was a lot about this movie that was actually really good, but something about it just didn't fully click for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I was sitting on the couch when we finished, and like 5 minutes later, it clicked in my brain, oh, that's what was happening.
Yeah.
The people in his mind were dying because he was dying, but then I got confused as to why the two random teachers in the background of the dance were the main characters and not like the teachers who had any impact on him. Like, where were his parents and his grandparents
Yeah.
and people he spent a lot of time with, even his wife and his kid, because it was all in that monologue from Mrs. Flanagan, Kate,
Yes.
who I love her. And everyone he's ever met, everything he's ever seen, it's all creating this big universe of
Yeah.
Chuck.
He processes everything he sees and experiences through his mind. So you've got that kind of version of people that you know or have met in your head. And it's kind of like the lesson is they'll always sort of be there. It's your own little world in your head because that's how you perceive reality.
Yeah, which that made sense to me, but then it's like, well, why aren't people who were more prominent in his life more prominent in his little head world? Like, was this guy just spending all of his time imagining his two old teachers who he didn't interact with that much in a marriage and a divorce? And like, what?
I was thinking on that a little bit, and the best takeaway that I could figure out was the Act 3 is basically his kind of creation of, or reflection of his life and world in his head is kind of shutting down. So we're seeing that from the perspective like one of his memories, possibly, or his memory of someone he used to know. But I think that's taking place throughout the entire world. It's complicated. I think we were maybe seeing kind of the world falling apart from the viewpoint of Chiwetel, a well-known actor, and he definitely does keep us engaged through that first act. But I guess the sense is the kind of falling apart of things, the kind of shutting down, or how the world's kind of falling apart, which is equally, Chuck is dying in real life. We're just kind of seeing it from one viewpoint, whereas it's, his whole mind is shown to be going. Does that make sense?
I guess, but like, who was Guillermo to him? Who was Mr. Late Night with the Devil to him? What were they doing
Hey,
there?
Guillermo can do whatever he wants. How dare you?
That's true. That's true.
I should
Maybe
probably
he
learn.
really liked What We Do in the
I should learn
Shadows.
that actor's real name, but he's always going to
Harvey.
be Guillermo. Harvey.
Really great in Companion. I
Yes.
wish he'd had more to do here.
Fun movie.
So essentially, it's we're all the Sims.
Yes.
We're all the Sims. We have no free will.
Well.
We're just some random creation
Do you mean like in his
of
head?
some guy.
Yes, we're all living on the back of a giant turtle.
Yeah,
Of course.
obviously. And
And
the Earth is flat, as we learned in Bugonia, of course.
I guess that's maybe some of the. I would need to look at the story at some point. That's maybe the Stephen King elements coming into play. I did really think in Act 2, I don't really know why we needed an Act 2, to be honest with you, where it's Tom Hiddleston is an adult and he's dancing along to the street drummer scene and starts dancing with that gal. That whole sequence, really well done.
Yeah.
I don't know why it was necessary.
I think it was to show that he was living his life. Because she was like, why'd you start dancing? It's like he wants to live. He felt alive when he was dancing.
He was thinking back to his, past experience and education in dancing with his grandmother just in the kitchen when he was a boy.
Yeah.
And
It's always been a love of his.
Yes. I liked all of that.
Yeah.
I think Mark Hamill did a really great job. He was funny and scary when he needed to be.
An alcoholic.
And he's definitely an alcoholic. All the acting was great. I just think the story was just a little bit too weird and out there to really hit home for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This might be better in the book
It
form.
might be, yeah. I wonder if this would have been better as a miniseries. You know, maybe
I
not.
don't
But
know.
yeah, you're right. I think it's not a boring movie, but
No.
I like the parts showing Chuck as a kid was the most entertaining part of the
It
movie.
syndrome.
It's Syndrome, 100%. But I would give this just like a solid 80. I was kind of
Same.
expecting a little bit more out of it. Not to say this is not a bad movie. Give it a watch. I'm gonna give this a worth the hype just preemptively.
Yeah.
But is this my favorite Mike Flanagan work?
No.
No, not necessarily. But that's okay.
I'm gonna give Mike Flanagan permission because I know he needs my permission to
Of course.
to explore whatever genre that he wants, but I am very excited to dive back into his horror stuff that's coming out in the next year or two.
That's what I wanted to ask you actually. What genre would you even call this movie?
Hallmark?
Hallmarky. It wasn't really trying to be funny. Is it? I guess it's more dramatic. I suppose
Yeah, if this
stylized.
were
I don't know.
if this were competing at the Golden Globes, it would probably be under the drama category. Of course, the Golden Globes love to call everything a comedy.
Yeah.
They're calling one battle after another a comedy. They called Get Out a comedy.
Well,
So maybe they would call this one a musical because there's dance sequences.
hey, for all we know, it had a British guy as one of the main characters, so maybe it's they're just gonna call it James Bond for all we know.
Another
But-
actor who would be a good James Bond.
and
She
the whole
would tell
time,
Ejiofor.
I'm sorry, but whenever I see Tom Hiddleston, I'm like, well, that's Loki. He's just up to his old shenanigans. Put on the crown.
I was saying this to my friend the other day when we were talking about this movie, but something about Tom Hiddleston as an actor, he's not bad, but something about him just feels like he was made in a factory to be James Bond.
I think I would have enjoyed him more seeing this in a theater production, you know, like
Oh, yeah,
Shakespeare or
like
something
on the
that. On the
stage?
stage, yes.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
He's a good villain. I'll give him that.
Yeah, I like him as Loki. He seems like a good dude, but I never watch a movie or hear about a role and think, you know who will kill that? Tom Hiddleston.
You're right.
He doesn't come to the forefront of my mind a lot.
Sorry, Tom. I guess she just hates you. I thought
No,
you were fine.
I like Tom.
When he listens to this, he's gonna be pissed.
I think. Oh yes, he's really gonna listen. I think he does good theater work.
Oh, absolutely. He's a better actor than I am.
Yeah, he has a Golden Globe. He's a good actor.
Yeah. You needed to be a bigger part of this movie if you're going to have a recognizable name. I think there are a lot of actors that needed to have larger roles throughout this movie, but I did like to see a lot of Mike Flanagan's returning cast and actors that he likes to work with. I think his wife was one of the
Yeah,
teachers,
his wife
right?
was there. Raoul was there.
Yeah.
The mean lady from Midnight Mass was there.
What role was Raoul? Was he
He was the nurse.
Oh, I didn't recognize him. Huh.
Yeah, he had a little like gray in his
Yeah.
hair and his beard, which he usually doesn't. Silver Fox
must have
going
been it.
on.
Yeah.
They also made him up, which it fit with the role, to look really tired.
Yes.
And
yes.
he's usually like this handsome, dashing person.
I do like. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Hill House again. I like the themes they were playing with, kind of time and life and death, and how things can seem interconnected. I think I enjoyed the part in the movie where you hear the heart monitor kind of beeping
Yeah.
from the hospital scene from when Chuck is like at the hospital dying, but then he hears that sound again when he's in the room at the Victorian house as a kid.
Yeah.
You hear that also in the like kind of dream sequence or the sequences in his mind at the beginning in Act 3. I enjoy those kind of intricate details and how that all fits into the story.
Yeah, Mike Flanagan definitely knows how to build a scene.
It's the supernatural aspect of it, but it's kind of a soft system where there's a lot of mystery and unknown about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You know what I just thought of?
What's that?
You remember when Matthew Lillard had like one monologue?
Yeah, he was great. I wanted to see him more.
That Quentin Tarantino needs to shut his mouth.
Absolutely.
I'm starting a beef with Quentin Tarantino right here,
He
right
deserves it.
now. You do not talk about Matthew Lillard like that, and you certainly do not disrespect Paul Dano.
Never.
Never. He should be an Oscar nominee for The Fabelmans. I'm still so upset about that.
I hope Quentin Tarantino never gets to see a naked foot again.
Exactly.
He wishes he could make a movie this good.
Honestly, yeah, his
didn't
stuff
like this movie all that.
isn't
No.
for me.
I like this movie. I would give it like an 80.
Yeah, 75, 80.
Yeah. Is it quite worth the hype? Yeah, I could definitely see this might be someone's favorite movie.
Let's see what the score is. See if
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Okay,
what we
so it's
got?
a certified fresh 80%. So I guess worth the hype
Nailed
for
it.
an 80%.
Yeah. We should probably I like rewatching all of Mike Flanagan's stuff.
Yeah.
I
There's
think
stuff
this
to like
was-
pick up because
Yeah.
I didn't really understand what was going on
Definitely.
until after I'd watched the movie and kind of sat down and thought about it. Maybe I'm just stupid because I don't think it wasn't apparent or anything. I just didn't. It didn't click for me
No, good.
until I thought about it.
This could be a movie definitely where people might walk out of the theater and be like, I did not get that at all. Like,
Yeah.
what was that? I think knowing some of Mike Flanagan's other work and that kind of style, I definitely see the connections. And then also having watched like It and Welcome to Derry and kind of like the Stephen King themes that happen there. I like and I want to explore more of the, what would you call it, the Stephen King verse.
Yeah.
Dark Tower.
There you go.
But not bad. Check it out. It was.
Yeah, I think it's worth a
It
watch.
was decent.
Yeah.
Was it going to be? Is this going to be my favorite movie of the year? No.
No,
That's fine.
it's not gonna get any Oscar nominations, and
It might.
you know, I don't think it has to. I think the people who like it are gonna really like it,
Give it a shot.
and I'm always down to support Mike Flanagan. If Mike Flanagan directs something, I'm not even going to question if I'm gonna watch it or not. I'm going to,
If he's going to cast Matthew Lillard to give a tearjerker monologue,
and then never show up
Never
in
show him
any
again.
of the movie again.
you know what? You got my support.
All right. Well, that was our week in movies. I think everything was all right with a few exceptions. I loved Bugonia.
Yeah, there were no bad movies here.
I
There-
didn't like The Summer Book.
For me, there were no bad movies here. I think when I've been seeing trailers for things like Life of Chuck and Bugonia, and this also was true with One Battle After Another, you start building up in your mind of like, okay, this is going to be kind of a groundbreaking experience when we finally get to watch it when it was available for streaming. So I'm learning to kind of pull back my expectations a little bit, despite like when you see a big name like Mike Flanagan, you think, okay, this is going to be something really unique. Where it was just kind of more different than what I was used to. Not bad, but not quite what I was expecting.
So what you're saying is you think you would enjoy movies more if you watched them in the movie theater?
No, we can pause and I can get up and
The roof of our movie theater caved in. I don't
Yeah.
know why they expect us to go back there.
too expensive.
Also
No.
that, yeah. Like, I need my Hulu for The Secret Life of Mormon Wives.
You're gonna lose it. It's turning into Disney Plus.
So I might as well just watch Life of Chuck on there when it comes out.
Fair enough. When Hulu goes away, we can just pirate all that. It's fine.
I've never done anything illegal in my life. How
I
dare
will
you?
one day figure out how to pirate things. That's what the kids
How
do nowadays.
dare you? We don't pirate media.
Of course.
That's not a thing to do to the Walt Disney Company. Pirate their media.
I would never.
How dare you?
All right, another week, year wrapped up.
I think it's safe to say My favorite was Bugonia. My least favorite was The Summer Book.
Ooh, my favorite. Visually, I'm gonna say Summer Book. It was pretty. It was real pretty. I wanna live on that little island in that cabin.
That's fair. I respect your opinion.
Story wise, Life of Chuck. I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting. Could it have been done differently and or better? Question mark. Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm certainly no Mike Flanagan though, so we will keep watching, and we'll definitely review his next works. Just gearing up for that award season.
Now, what was your least favorite movie?
Ooh, what was my least favorite? Honestly, it may have been Threesome.
Yeah.
Threesome was disappointed.
You know what? I'm going to change my opinion that The Threesome was a Hallmark movie to it was an ABC Family original movie.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange Harvest, I would say like number 3.
Yeah,
Pretty
Strange
good.
Harvest was good. It was solid.
I think you like Begonia more than I did.
I loved Bugonia. 5 stars.
Sometimes the story just gets a little too weird for me.
The weirder the better,
Weirder
please.
the
Thank
better.
you.
But yeah, we did it.
We did it.
Another week in the
Another
bag.
week. And we'll be back next week, maybe having watched some screeners.
It's getting to be independent spirit time. Let's go.
It is.
All right, you crazy kids. We will see you next year.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.